Shalom. Shalom. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath, man. I'm a little unorganized today. I mean, not today, but right now. But it's good, though. We're going to get it in. Shalom. Shalom. After Kingdom, my brother. My brother. Princess Tisa. Happy Sabbath, Grace. Let's go. One of our favorite topics, the white man. Our op. All praise to the Most High. Danielle. Shalom. Happy Sabbath. But yeah, how was everybody week, man? We made it. Another one. Kind of watch this. My incense all bent up. Well, you can see it. Look, it's all bent. So I'm trying to make sure it ain't going, do no funny business over here. Hold on real quick, y'all. But yeah, man, how was y'all week? I'll tell you all, like I always like to say, was inspired to class, cause I've always be thinking like, okay, well, what's going to be a topic, what's going on in the world, what happened, or, so this week, why am I saying the white man is the goddamn devil? Hold on, let me check in. Danielle said her week was rough, but I made it through. Hey, that's exactly how I feel. I had a rough week too. To start off, but like you said, we made it through. We're here, Sabbath, get our mind off all that, get you some good reading in, we'll watch you some, some brothers teaching, and that's what the Sabbath is for. You get your rest, get your mind right. But yeah, so as you guys know, I'm in school, unloyal family, but I'll deal with it. Yeah. The oppositions, that's how I be. It be like that, Grace. It be like that. You gotta roll with the punches. My week was all right. Thank you, but counted joy. Hope your week was blessed. Yeah. One of my favorite scriptures when I came into the truth that I memorized and could quote like this was Romans 5:3. And it still is. Romans 5:3. I glory in tribulations. Glory in your tribulations, Glory in your tribulations and what is it? Tribulation work. Let me get it because I'm butchered it. Romans 5:3. It says, and not so only, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulations worketh patience. So when you be having them rough weeks, man, just glory in that thing. Because the Most High, he's the righteous, he can't do no wrong. So whatever he's doing, it's for the better. All right, hope everyone was blessed. But yeah, so this class, so like I said, as I'm in school. Right? So I would say the age bracket is from like minimum 18 all the way up to so far probably like low 50s. So I've been doing like a social experiment. And man, and the white man wins it every time. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, so we got Edomites, we got Moabites, we got Hamites, and dang, we don't got that much Judites. We got Judites. A lot of the faculty's Judites, but students, it's only like me. I heard it's only like me and this other brother. Damn, that's crazy. Like student wise, only me and another brother. But I say Edomites, they're like 90% of the students, and they are, man, wicked as hell. I mean, we know this, but it's just funny just to go in like, just going like just regular. I got my uniform on, and they don't know G Bar. I'm just a student. But I just sit back and just be watching this stuff they be doing. I be like, bro, these people are the devil. These people are the devil. Shalom, Andrea. Literally, it's literally like from the youngest one, like the scriptures. It's just they just make, like, when we say your neighborhood friendly white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. It's literal, like she said, it's literal. And man, woman, and child as well. When we say man, woman, and child, it's literal. Like, it's just crazy. So, as I go through these scriptures and get into some of these stories that that I'm gonna share with y'all, it's just crazy. Like, look, I'm gonna tell you guys this story before I one of the stories why was really inspired it. So we had this this teacher, the Jake. Like I said, all the faculty, most of the faculty is Jakes. So we was doing this getting this flagger certificate in this OSHA 10 certificate, but it's from an outside company, which so happened to be a Jake. Mind you, we got Edomite, these like Edomite girls in the class, and one of them, she looked smoked out, right? Or it looked like she an ex addict, or she just looked messed up. But anyways, the dude was teaching for 3 days. So she tried to get old boy like on some Emmett Till type stuff, that Karen stuff. Like she tried to mind you, I'm here the whole time watching. She tried to get him sexual harassment. I was like, in the cold part about it, they try to use me to like be a witness. Like, I don't know, she thought we was tight or something. But she was like, yeah, you seen it. And this. So came Monday, they pulled me, want to talk to me about it. And I'm like, man, that dude ain't looking at her and then do none of that she's saying, But it's just funny how the Sheetamite was trying to get old boy just off of nothing, just off of nothing. And then the other Edomite girl was talking about, oh yeah, I trust her word. So I said, because she said something like, she said the teacher said she was pretty or something. And then I said, were you there? To the other Sheetamite. She was like, no, but I trust her word. I'm like, man, here you guys go trying to hang a Negro, And then, oh boy, one of the Edomite dudes, he said, yeah, that's just horrible what he did to her. So I checked him. I said, look, what did he do? What did he do? And he was like, he paused and say anything. And I said, bro, you're up here saying confidently that he did something, especially something that serious. So what did he do? You can't even name what he did. So why are you putting that in that man trying to get this dude, his job taken away? The scriptures say you take away how a man can feed himself, you basically take knocking them off. And that's basically what they're doing. They don't hang you physically no more, even though they still do be lightweight. But they be trying to take away your job, take away the way you feed yourself. Me being G Bar, I couldn't sit there and let the dude get done in like that. So I had to speak up. And even though the dude, I feel like he could have been a little bit more professional, you know, because he was slipping a little bit, like being too relaxed. But still, though, you're not about to get my brother like that. You're not about to lie on my brother and and get him knocked off, you know. So I couldn't. It was just disgusting. Then I just had to stay calm too, because everybody, they cool with me, but I had to sit up there advocate for Drew, and it was just like, nah, man. I was picking them Edomites apart, especially the dude. He was like, it's a shame, they're up here, dragging them, and then each person, like, they're gossiping, and it's getting worse and worse, like a snowball. Like, it's getting worse and worse. Now you hear he damn near choked her out and took it from her. It's like, man, you guys exaggerate. That's how people get knocked off. You feel me? That's like that Emmett Till stuff ain't cool. So, like I said, I was like, nah. And you seen old girl, you would be like, what? Let me tell you this, how like this what happened. Um, when I was a teenager, I used to work at Walmart. Right? As a teenager, overnight stocking. And let me tell you, this Edomite, she was training me. Busted, looking in my cross-eyed, everything. She was training me. And she was making me climb the ladder to like put stuff up. And I noticed she kept saying, "Go up higher." And mind you, she was looking at my gluteus maximus, right? And trying to make a pass at me. And then I was like, "Nah, I'm good," something. So she went to go tell the supervisor that I was harassing her. But the dude, the Edomite, oh, he said, he started laughing. He said, the only reason why I know she's lying because the way she looks. I know a young fella like yourself would not be pushing up on that. And he just started laughing. But I'm like 17 at the time. So I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell? I said, so the only reason why you don't believe her because she looks like a damn, because she looks busted. So if she was what you would say fair looking, I would be canned, huh? But he was like, yeah, the only reason why I don't believe her is because the way she looks. So these Edomites and these Shedemites be out here lying. But say on my job, I'm surrounded by them devils. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there's something else, man. I'm just literally sit here. Ain't no camp mode. I'm not in no, I'm just doing my little school stuff. And I'm just I'm just looking around. I'm like, bro, these people are something else. Like what the scripture say about them is 100% true. They violent. They. If you don't believe whatever twisted thing they believe, they get real violent. Like they want to harm you, turn you in, or make you lose your job, or get you kicked out of school or something. As well, because these are the adults acting like y'all really in school. Yeah, like people just trying to make money, right? Blame before hearing the matter and convicted them, right? But I had today I had talked to one of the directors, which is a J. I want a boy to be cool. I don't want him, And they say it's looking good for him. It's a good thing that you stayed away from her. If that is the same woman trying to lunch with you. I don't think that is the same one, but it basically is. It is, but it ain't. You got to stay away from them. Anyways, they don't ever care about hearing the truth. Exactly. They want to ball up lies and in the cold part, it was so funny about it because I seen the whole thing. I've been around, like I seen everything they're saying. I was sitting right there in the class for every single thing, every single thing I seen. It was just all lies and assumptions and just made up stuff, talking about, oh, he was trying to give me a ride home. He wanted to give me a ride. I said, he said that. No, it was just the look in his eye. I'm like, man, come on. It was, you can say that about anybody then. Oh, he winked at me. When he winked at me, he was undressing me. But these guys is crazy. Exactly. Very violent. Very violent. These leopards had recessive gene. Dogs love to think that they are just that desirable. Man, and if you've seen this particular one, oh my God, that throw up, you would literally throw up. Teeth gone, black teeth, literally black teeth. Teeth are black. The teeth are black. It's crazy. Let me get this script, man. Let's get this script. They're very violent. No, hold on. Let me go to. I want to go to Genesis or Psalms first. I got so much I want to say. I don't know which I want to get first. Damn, what the hell is Psalms? Let's just start Psalms and Sis said violent. See, I want to get into the violent part because they're very violent. So deliver me, Psalm 140 and 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. You know, and it's scary that somebody could sit up there and just ping pong lies amongst each other. Like he said, yeah, that's crazy what he did to her. And I was like, what did he do to her? He didn't even say that. He paused because he wasn't expecting. They lied so much. They ain't expecting to get caught up on their BS. So I was like, see, that's dangerous. You know, you're up here talking about what he did and you can't even explain what he did. You know, you should have been like, oh, yeah, he grabbed her. He did this, groped her. He said these passes. But you're saying it just see what can stick. So deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. See, this is talking about, you know, you could say there's every race somebody's violent. All right, you can say that, but this is particularly talking about the man. Remember in Don't Be a Menace? Remember what Jake used to say back in the day? The man. Who were we talking about when we was talking about the man? Yeah, you guys know we're talking about the man, which is that one man, that leopard man, that clear man, the red man, dead man. Watch this, verse 2. Which imagine mischiefs in their heart. See, I got Moabites in there. So one of the Moabites, he was telling me, he was like, I didn't see anything he did wrong. He said he's a great teacher. If you ask me, right? All the other the heathens, they ain't tripping. But Esau, they tripping. That's how you know they're the devil. That the Bible speaks of the chief devil. See, that's why it says, which imagine mischief in their heart. And that's what I asked old girl. I said, man, what do you want out of this? What do you want out of this? She was like, because she's up here writing, look, she's up here writing a long ass letter for, it was like 6 hours. I was like you know, go to lunch and come back. She's still writing. I'm like, damn, you still doing that stuff? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, why? I said, what are you trying to get out of this? And she was like, oh, you know, I'm emotional or distressed or something. I said, it only been like 2 days. How are you like emotional? It only been like 2 days. 2 days. Like you make it seem like it's a long period of time and you can't focus and all this. And then she knew she was capping. So then she was like, oh, well, I don't want him to do this to anybody else. I'm like, sure you don't. You just trying to can a Nigra because it's in your heart. which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. I watched them. I'm sitting there watching them. Continually, they're gathered together for war, and they look so harmless. Not her, by the way. She don't look harmless. I'm talking about the rest of them. Like they look like Bill Gates and stuff. They look a little nerds, little glasses, but they appear. Yeah, we need to do this. We need to report them. We need to do this and that. So yeah, so I'm witnessing this. King David prophesying, I'm witnessing this. Like I'm just like, damn, like these people are the devil. Everybody else, other race is worried about school. She's up here writing for 6 hours, 2 days, trying to can somebody. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. See them lies. They got them forked tongues. Adder's poison is under their lips. Say lot. So if you know anything about a adder, a snake, poison, usually it don't kill you. It don't knock you. You don't feel it right away. Some of the time it takes a little bit of time, then it starts to ease through your blood, you're getting your blood and cardiac arrest and all type of different little stuff. It can give you problems later down the line as well. So that's what they're trying to do. They be trying to just throw little lies out there, slander, and see what stick. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man. So we want the Lord to keep us from the hands of the wicked and preserve us from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. This man got him a good job. Look, and the bra was hating because I asked him, look, this goes with overthrow my going. I asked, oh boy, I was like, man, how much you be making doing teaching these classes? And he was like, man, I make like 6 figures, man, in 6 months. And the rest of the year, me and my wife go. Yeah, mind you, dude's married too. He's like, me and my wife, we go, we usually do that time, use the other 6 months, travel, So I was like, oh, and she was right there. She was like, he makes 6 figures doing this and half in 6 months. Even when she was writing her little things, you know what she said? Because she think we're cool, She don't know I'm riding with my brother. But she was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to need some of that 6 figures he asked. Damn devil. That's why I said, that's what Christ say. He said, be smooth, peaceful as a dove, wise as a serpent. Because you're going up against wolves. Matter of fact, I got to get that. Because this is how I'm rocking. So I'm able to get, this how I'm able to, I'm slithering around. You feel me? Amongst wolves. Hold on real quick. I'm going to come back to this. Okay, so who have proposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me. They're trying to hit a snare for the brother. They're trying to, say he, violated a female. In chorus, they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gin for me. Selah. So let me get this. Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So I'm in the class. I'm in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents. So I'm like a snake. Wise as a serpent. If you know anything about a snake, they don't move till you move. You won't even know he's there until it's too late. He could be a snake sitting in the corner. You don't even know he's there. Then you make a move, the snake move. You don't see it. And as harmless as a dove. That's how I'm moving. That's how I'm moving. So look, I was telling so the Jake with his teaching method, he was using a lot of scenarios. Like say he was teaching like Tisa, let's say Tisa owns a company and Andrea worked for her. And Tisa don't want to pay Andrea, so Andrea gets mad and slaps her or something. So he was doing a lot of stuff like that. So he was using a lot of us as scenarios or names. So the Shedemite gets mad when he used her as an example and try to say he's using her always as like the bad part of the scenario, which wasn't true. He used me more, and I pointed this out. I said he used me more, and I was always like the bad one of the I always got the short end of the stick, which I wasn't tripping. It's just a story. My brother trying to make a point. It's fake, but you're just trying to can them. You're just trying to do anything can them. So, what does a ride home mean? Oh yeah, she tried to say, and that's false too. She tried to say I guess she had to go somewhere or leave class early, and she tried to say he insinuated that she needed a ride home, but he never even said it. But that's what I'm saying. You just assuming stuff. Um, yeah, it's like Emmett Till all over again. Just think if he was back in those days, that brother would have been no, he would have been gone. Yeah, and they basically trying to. They basically trying to can the brother, man. Yeah, they would have, yeah, for nothing. For nothing. And that's why I couldn't, I'm sitting up here, I'm trying not to get involved, trying to knock my little, I'm halfway done with this stuff, and I was just about to, but I couldn't because I'm sitting up there, I hear the whispers and just how they trying to can them, and it's all like I literally seen everything. I was there for the whole thing, and I know how these devils are. So I'm just like, nah, they twisting stuff, exaggerating, and everything. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell? So mind you, remember I told you we was doing the OSHA 10. We was doing the that's like chemical, that's like safety, like chemicals and stuff like that. So we was talking about some chemicals, and he was like, we was going over the different type of chemicals, like chemical burns, and like what if chemicals get in your eye. So he said something about, if you're in the shower and you get shampoo in your eye, that's different than you getting like one of these heavy industrial chemicals in your eye. So if you get, so imagine so and so in the shower and she gets chemical in her eye. Hey, she flipped. That's what she's saying. She said, "Oh, imagine me in the shower." What? What do you mean? Imagine me in the shower? Whoa, these people are the devil, bro. That's why it says two manner of people. Who heard that? Usually he just making a scenario of a different chemical getting in your eye. He says like if you're in the shower, you get shampoo in your eye, and now you're getting undressed, and it's like why you say shower? It's like I'm like, whoo, whoo, that's deep. That is deep, boy. And you see how these devils are? Hold on. Him to get arrested. Sounds like she's trying to come up on a case on the premises. Like, yeah, yeah. And she said it. She's trying to get some money, but she don't got no case. She convicted as she was taking everything personal. Right. Right. That's why I said, like you said, don't use them in an example and use John Doe and Jane Doe. That's why I was saying, Like that's the only thing that he can get God at. I mean, that's the only fault I see is that he's slipping right there. Like you said, don't mean use them. And the other girl was trying to get him on that pronoun stuff. Like this dude is this dude's 60 plus years old. He don't know nothing about that stuff. You feel me? Like he not like you're 18, he's 60. You're trying to because you want to play make believe and say you're a damn girl. I mean man when you're not, and he says she and you trying to get him on that. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. Oh yeah, dang, it's 30. I need to get into so let's get some more scripts. But yeah, you see, I'm like, man. And I had got into it with this one dude. He talking about I love being around a melting pot or something. And I'm like, see, this is exactly why we don't need to be around them. Because they are violent. Your neighborhood friendly white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Let me get a Genesis. They got the spirit. Look, I love this scripture because I resonate with this scripture so much. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. So now let's break this down slowly. Now the serpent was more tricky than any other beast, which any other nation that was made in the field, in the world. Let's break it down. Let me get Genesis. I got Genesis 3. Let me show you what the field is real quick. The field. Hold on. Matthew 13. Let's precept it real quick. Then we're going to come right back here. I just want to show you guys something. Matthew 13:8. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit. And that's not what I want. That's not what I want. 13:38, my fault. 38. I said 8. It's 38. The field is the world. The field is the world. That's all I want. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. But this is what we want. The field is the world. So now when we go back to Genesis, we know what the field is. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the world. See, this is like similitudes. You got to break the Genesis, a heavy book. You got to break it down, And you guys, it wasn't no snake, literally, a literal serpent was the man. So it's saying now the man, so you got to think of Genesis like it is today. What nation is the most different, sneakiest nation? The Edomites. So it's the same thing, that same spirit. Because like I just said, I'm in there with Moabites and Hamites. I got a couple Hamites, a couple Moabites. We don't mess with them either, but they chilling. They doing their little work, mind their business, quiet and everything. But the Edomites, like I said, is more subtle than any other heathen. They up here causing trouble. They violent as hell. They trying to get people fired and get people kicked out, lose their license. So it's that same spirit. The same spirit. That's why we say they are the devil that the Bible speaks of. I wish I could have got into that wicked Valentine's too. But they was trying to act up. But I had to get on them about that. Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, It's talking about the Edomites. They you know, you got your Bill Gates and your Fauci's and you know your Elon Musk and your Make America Great Again, or smooth words. But war was in his heart. See, if you remember this right here, especially as you're coming up, as you're like if you're teaching kids this, if you teach them this right here, never trust thy enemy. Ecclesiastes cuss 12:10. Never trust thy enemy. And remember, war is always in their heart. I mean, you won half the battle. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's a very art. It's art how they do that, because they look harmless and goofy as hell. You ever seen you see Edomite? They look goofy as hell and harmless, but they are dangerous. They are dangerous. I was just at the gym earlier. I see one of my OG homies, and I was telling though, he was telling me, he was like, he said, man, white folks made me nervous. Cause he was telling me how he had an interview, and he was like, man, I think I bombed the interview. He said, I think I bombed the interview. I said, what happened? And he was like, man, white folks make me nervous, man. And I was like, what you mean? I said it was like a panel of them. I wasn't expecting to hear that from him because he's like in his 50s. So he was like, man, I ain't never been around no white folks before, man. Other than, the other little job. But, he said, I said, what kind of interview was it? He said, I said it was like a gang of them. He said, yeah, it's a panel of them. Just put me in the middle staring at me, man. I feel uncomfortable. I was stuttering and all type of stuff. I was like, damn. But I was just like, see, it's funny because, I get a lot of these testimonies from people about, just, who I be rubbing elbows with just, in passing. But, if we could have write down or talk about, like have our own space and talk about like the atrocities of just your everyday, what it's like to be you, like you going to the store. Just like today, I went to the store. I was at the store. Matter of fact, I was at the store looking for some more. Matter of fact, I bought this hat. I just bought this hat. Hold on, let me stop sharing. I had to buy this hat. So look, like I said, I was going to the gym, and next to the gym is this store. So I just bought this hat right here. Bought this for my thing, but I bought it. I felt hella uncomfortable. I'm in the store because I had bought these shirts. So I'm in carpentry and all that stuff. So I bought the little high vis shirts, right? The little reflectors. But I bought them online. In the store that I bought them from, the store was right there. I wanted to see how they was in person, like how they felt and stuff. So I'm going in the store. Mind you, I'm going to the gym also. I got gym clothes on. I got a backpack. I go into the store. The little security guard is following me in the store. And I was like, what the hell? I knew he was following me. So he made me feel uncomfortable. I'm sitting up in there. I'm like, let me just grab a beanie. I just bought this hat just so, like, I felt uncomfortable, even though, I didn't have to. I felt uncomfortable to where I felt like I had to grab something just so it don't look like I just came in here. But it's like, I shouldn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that, but that's just how, it's just like, yeah, they make me uncomfortable. He following me, like, run the, like, boy. Maybe you can give him that knowledge, John Doe, Jane Doe. Yeah, I told I got to do his number too, though. But he don't work there. Like I said, he's an outsource. But I got his number because I got a certificate. So I passed the. He gave us the certificate for the flagger and all that stuff. So I got his number in there. But yeah, like I said, bro, that's the only thing you were slipping on. The only thing you were slipping on is being too friendly. Where you should be, but that's the only thing. Like, you got to be careful. You got to tighten up because these devils out to get you, man. The book that do you like the book Negro? You said that's a book. I'm gonna have to look that up. McLendon had a whole section of Carhartt. Oh, McLendon over there. I'm gonna check that out. I like the McLendon. I mean, not McLendon, but the Carhartt. You know, it's like it's real quality product. So they gave me some shirts. They gave us some shirts, man. Them shirts is thin and cheap as hell. I said, man, I might go get my own. And the atrocities that you hear about them every year gets worse. What they've done to our people, exactly. Even like we be learning new stuff, like Lake Lanier about drowning cities and stuff like that. These people are violent, man. Violent. Look, this is what I want. Psalm 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. See, when you read the Bible, say if you've never really been in the world, some of this stuff wouldn't even make sense. And you be like, man, you guys is tripping, man. I know some cool Edomites or some white men, whatever. It's like, no, once you go through the world, see, that's why the Most High got us, here still in captivity, and we're moving and rubbing elbows. That's what he say. I'm gonna get that in. What's that in Judges? I'm gonna get that real quick, huh? After this, I'm gonna show you why the Most High got us around these heathens. But their poison is like the poison of a serpent. See, there it goes. They're poison like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stopped her ears. You can't tell them nothing. They ain't hearing nothing. I call the police on you, buddy. You can't talk to about it. Your neighborhood for the white man. The goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never wisely. Look, break their teeth, oh God, in their mouth. They said, break their teeth out. Break out the great teeth of the young lions. Look, let's get Judges real quick. Believe it, Judges. I'm shooting from the hip. Judges 3. Yeah, it is. Look, so this is why the Most High God is around these nations, because some of our people don't believe that they're like this, and they don't believe it's all of them, or they ain't seen it yet and they need to see it, or some of us, we ain't seen everything. And as more we're around them and we're reading their book and we're looking at them and we read, and we look at them and we read, like, oh my God, it's them. Look, now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them. See, he left the heathens there to prove us by them, even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. See, like I said, some of us don't know how to war. So he leaves them so you can learn that. That's why it says glory in tribulations, because they're going to stick you and they stab you in the back, but it ain't to knock you off. It's so you can learn, so you can be like, oh hell no. Then that's why it says Hosea 5:15 that in their affliction they have. Listen, early. I might have to get that. Hosea. Like Grace was saying, she said some disloyal family members, the Most High may be trying to show you something, sis. Look, Hosea 5:15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. Yeah, so when might stab me in the back, you're gonna be like, oh hell no. Then when the Edomite stab you in the back, then you hear the brother teaching, it's gonna make sense to you. I'm like, oh yeah, man, yeah, they are evil. They did this to me, they did that to me, they did this. And you're like, oh. Let me show you about one of King David's run-in with the Edomites, the Edomite Doeg the Edomite. Well, look at this. We're gonna jump through this. 1 Samuel 22:7. Then Saul said unto his, I'm going through this Edomite to Doeg. We're going to jump through where his name pops up and watch his interaction with David. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds? I'm gonna write one. That all you have conspired against me, and there is none that showeth me that my son have made a league with the son of Jesse, and there is none of you that is sorry for me, or showeth unto me that my son have stirred up my servant against me. So Saul's he calling a meeting, and he's trying to get some people to tell on King David, to lie in wait as his day. And then look, let's see what the Edomite is. He got an Edomite in his army because he know the Edomite is a snake. Then answered Doeg the Edomite. Look, Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul. So he made this Edomite a damn leader and said, I saw, look, he gonna say, nobody else is saying nothing. But look what Doeg the Edomite said. I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub. Right? He gonna tell. Hold on. So let me jump through this. And the king said to Doeg, turn thou and fall upon the priest. And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priest and slew on that day 75 persons that did wear a linen ephod. So if you read in between, so Saul was trying to get the Benjamites to get the so-called traitors. They wouldn't do it because they knew Saul was off. But who did it? The Edomite did, because he has no damn natural born demon. And look at this. Look what David said. And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there. Because David, he had seen when he was running on the run, he had went to the priest and ate the showbread, and he had seen Doeg the Edomite in there. And look what David said. And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there. So David said, I knew when that Edomite was there that he would surely tell Saul. He didn't say I knew the Benjamites would. He didn't say I knew the Judites would. He said I knew Doeg the Edomite because they always bid evil. David knew that spirit was in them. Look, that he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father. So he said, man, that's on me, because this dude saw me. And I knew, because I know how slimy they are. I know how slimy they are, and I knew he was going to tell. You got to read that again. This is deep. And David said to Abiathar, I knew, look, he said, I knew it that day. I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there. You know how you can see an Edomite? This is your neighborhood friendly white man right here. Your neighborhood friendly Edomite was there, that he would surely tell. He said he knew he was tell. See, this were the Christians where they mess up at, because they don't know who the Edomites are, who the Hamites are. See, we know. That's why we got a leg up on them. We can put the pieces, the puzzle together, which is beautiful, because all of you know. We all know, even people in the world, they know who's going to tell the Edomite. That's why they got the neighborhood watch. The Edom. You can't do nothing in front of them at the job. Nowhere. They are telling off top, and David knew it too. I love this Bible because this is our records, and we the same, and they the same. Like it says, Christ is the same today, yesterday, and yesterday. It would say Christ is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The Edomite of yesterday, the white man of yesterday is the white man of tomorrow. He's the same. He is the same. Look at this. Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. This is the part I want. And by peace shall destroy many. Because they, you think, like I said, your neighborhood friendly. By peace shall destroy many. How you destroy somebody by peace? Because they got smooth words, smooth as oil, but wars in their hearts. Talking about the same person, same man. Same person, same man, red man, dead man. She said, that's really why I'm comfortable staying in the confines of my home. These days will be at a time we have never seen before. I'm telling you, if the character of the Edomites is not the same character of these white, then who it is? Exactly. It's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, then who? So is it. Figure it out. Khan, Nev, Khan. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Ciroc. Marvelous, magnificent truth of the Most High and the Black Messiah. It's brilliant. It's crazy how we can go on the Bible and we can just match it up. But let's get that Ciroc real quick. Then we're gonna get into the good news. Ciroc 10 and 12. Like I said, if you can remember this, if the youngins coming up can remember this, that's half the battle. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rush, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching. Oh, he was trying to touch me with wards in their heart. Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee. Don't get by him. Handle your business, and lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Damn, it's so deep. Don't even let him sit by you. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked by therewith. So you're gonna be remember, like, damn, the Most High said don't do that. And I did it and got caught up. So the good news is we don't have to go through this forever. That's the good news. There is an expiration date. There's the expiration date. Job 5 in verse 20. Job 20 and verse 5 says backwards that the triumphing of the wicked is short. So it may seem long, but it's short, trust me. In the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. Through his excellency, mount up to the heavens, in his head reach into the clouds. He's prideful. That's very prideful coming in. You're a student and you coming in against the faculty, all you students talking about he did this, that, and the third, when you just need to shut your mouth and be lucky. You're lucky. Be lucky that you're even in here. You're not even supposed to be in here, you two-time loser. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. How you flush the toilet and it goes down, that's how they're going to perish. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Tisa, you're going to be like, where is he? Andrea, you're going to be like, where the hell is he? Who are you talking about? You said what? You said some clear person was running around doing what? G-Bar, you're tripping. We're gonna have to pull the records out and you know, we're gonna power, you're gonna have to pull some like look, you know, like, dang, I don't recall. He said, where is he? Because he's gonna be gone. He shall fly away as a dream, and he shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Yeah. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. You're going to see him no more. Neither shall his place any more behold him. Say all praise to the Most High for that, which is a future prophecy. All praises for that. I gotta read that again. The part where verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? You said there used to be some dude, a clear person, a red man that used to hunt for fun, that used to be extremely violent. Where is he? What are you guys talking about? They said he shall fly away as a dream. You know how you dream, how you forget your dream? Can't remember it. That's how they're gonna be. And shall not be found. That's why I said this is the good news. So you gotta remember this. Like, man, they're gonna be like a dream. And this is written. So it's going to happen. The little DJ Trumps and stuff, all that stuff is gonna be over soon. You're gonna be like, who? You said they ruled what? They was doing what? Yeah, no more. No more. Who am I going to get? Let me get Genesis 27. They violent. No, let's go to Obadiah. We could close it out with Obadiah. Close it out with Obadiah. Where is that at? OB. Good news. You ain't got to end it on good news. Verse 18. 18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not, it's already highlighted, say it with me, all at once, not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. It's over. No, sorry, will not be asking and not looking back. Damn right, we're going to have to put them in a museum. All praise to the Most High. Now, Black Messiah, always Black Messiah. They're evil. They even try to change our Messiah. Oh, I could do that underneath the hour. All praise to the Most High. So yeah, final thoughts, man. Hit the Cash App, man. D-Bar, Cash App. Halfway through school, got like a month and a half left, almost over. All praises. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. I think we hit final thoughts. Never trust them. All right. Never trust your enemy. What else? Their words are smooth as butter. Don't set them by you. You know, your neighborhood friendly white man, woman, and child. Every single one of them is some damn devils that this Bible speaks of. Holy Bible speaks that the Lord, our Lord, left us clues. All you gotta do is pick up and read. He left us clues. You know, some good clues too. He got that devil running around. You know, and everybody knows it. Big con. Love y'all. The water, mighty lesson. The water. All praise to the Most High. As soon as I can, King, got you for sure. All praises, all praises. Final thoughts, Psalms 40, 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Exactly. Like they say, when they come out the womb crying, they lying. You know, that's an old, when they come out the womb, that's an old ancient demon coming out that's trying to get busy. That's why I told you how shy. He said, you trying to punish us before the time? You know, it's an old ancient demon coming out that joint, coming out the womb. Oh yeah, let me tell you guys before I leave. You know, today was Gideon's home going. Yesterday was his viewing. Thursday was his viewing. He had a memorial today, but that's why that's why it was with the little Christians. Let me tell you. Let me share this text with you guys real quick. This is what one of the Christians said. That text me. They said, whatever you and Gideon had going on outside the church, keep it outside when you come to our house. We abide by our rules, or you're going to have to join him later on. That's what they said. Look, I love you guys. This is his government name on here. So his government name on here. So there ain't no cap in my rap. So let me read it again for you guys. This is what the church said. Whatever you and I'm gonna use his Israelite name. Whatever you and Gideon had going on outside the church, keep it outside when you come to our house. We abide by our rules, or you're going to have to join him later on. So basically saying, because they knew me and Gideon, were Israelites. So they were saying, like, if you come here, any Israelite, you're going to join him. This is what the church people said. It shows you. But yeah. They thought G-Bar was gonna come in there cutting them up. He didn't have no sis, no. He had with the Christians. That's why you gotta make sure your stuff is in line so you don't be buried with Caesar Borgia, so you don't be buried with Sibo. Because Sibo, they be having them candles. They be having them candles everywhere. Nah, don't do that to G-Bar, man. I mean, I'm gonna have my stuff, Lord will, set up to where no way, because I'll wear the Rex and be like, snatching. You got Sibo. Yeah, got me in the Christian service of Dale, my angels. Nah, we ain't having that. Ain't that type of party. Yeah, I think the brother was joking, lightweight, but I don't know. I'm cause he, that's why I may view, but not exactly. No funeral. But that's why it says we're cursed going in and out, right? You shall be cursed going in and out. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get that real quick. Going. You guys know the scripture. Hold on. It's in Deuteronomy. Let me get that real quick. Cursed shall thou be in the field. Okay, let's get that real quick. Once again, the Bible, true book. Deuteronomy 28:19. It says, cursed shall thou be when thou come in. So cursed when you come out the womb, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. So yeah, when you go out, you're gonna have a Caesar Borgia del funeral. And the Most High and the Black Messiah are going to keep them out too. Con. Sis, said, yeah, you already know we got sis. For real, we open it up. We're opening up the casket. You got SIBO on my damn thing. You got SIBO. The year we put in this truth, like you always put Black Messiah. You always put the Black Messiah. So how we gonna be fighting for the Black Messiah? Emphasizing that we spent almost every day cutting somebody, and then we go out and we got SIBO over us. Oh no, I'm resurrecting. I'm like, oh no, Lord, he woke up. He woke up. If you want me to resurrect, yeah, have some SIBO around my wherever I'm at. Exactly. Just remember them when they was in their glory. We don't need to see them like that. You the same as me, sis. I can't go listen to a doctor that I know it's not exactly. I'm not even walking up in that house, in that building. Yeah, put it in writing what you want. All right. But yeah, all praise to the Most High. Thank y'all for come and listen to Crazy G Bar, Crazy G Bar and his little, testimony, all praise to the Most High. I love y'all. Kwame Yasharala. That means rise, Israel, in the Hebrew tongue. All praise to the Most High. How about Shem? Yahweh Shai Barak. Happy Sabbath. Yeah, I love y'all. Truly. Until next time, you guys know how we do it. Be safe. Get you some studying in. Level up. Always continue to grow. Because if you ain't growing, you ain't going. If you ain't growing, you ain't going. So yeah. To all you, exactly. Okay. Shalom. I'm let y'all go. Handle your business. Happy Sabbath. Love y'all. Peace out.